7:35. Before we start visiting with Elka and Mike, North Arkansas Electric Cooperative had scheduled a power outage. Let me pull this up. They're replacing a line down around Culp, Arkansas, which feeds our main transmitter, and there's a possibility that the main transmitter is not working right now because of the power being pulled down. So if you're hearing an echo or a funny sound or not full power, it's because we're on backup power while North Arkansas Electric Cooperative replaces a power line down in the Culp, Arkansas area. And, of course, Elka King is here, and she's always welcome, training folks with gun safety and all kinds of things. What's on the agenda now?
Good morning, Dale.
Good morning.
We are doing this Saturday a Fundamentals of Home Defense Handguns class, which is designed to educate the student about the handguns that are best for home defense and how to use them safely and efficiently in the context of a home defense scenario.
Okay, so that's this Saturday. Wow. How long does that last?
The class will last 4 to 6 hours, and it'll depend on the students in the class and what their skill levels are. So we plan for, I would definitely plan for 6 hours. And it starts at 9 in the morning. And we do have spaces available. It's a great class. It is not a concealed carry class. It is specifically for what to do in your home and how to prepare to deal with a home invasion scenario. And we cover home defense tactics, what to do in preparation, and how to store your defensive firearms responsibly in a way that's good for you with your family situation, whatever that may be. We don't recommend all kinds of different things. We want you to figure out the best thing for your family and help you do that.
And I guess my main question, Elka, would be, I think of about a 32-year-old female living alone and somebody trying to break in the house. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You're sound asleep, and this would be with anybody. It doesn't matter the gender, but you know,
exactly.
It's like sometimes my engineer will call, and it'll be 2:45 in the morning. Hey, what you doing? Sleeping? Why? Well, you know, I need to go down to the station and fix something. Oh, well, who is this? So he says, he says, I'll give you a minute to get your wits about you.
Yes.
Because when you get a call at 2:45 in the morning, it's like, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing here? You know, type of thing.
Yes.
So when you have somebody invading your home,
mm-hmm.
at 3 in the morning, and what do I need to do? How do you get your wits about you and think that fast? Is that part of the training?
Well, it is in that it is important to have a plan in that you've already decided on before the window's breaking at 3 in the morning. If you wait until that point, you are going to have to deal, you're going to have to actually believe it's happening. You're going to have to, if you don't have a plan, you're going to have to come up with one. And so that takes a lot of time, and it obviously makes it more stressful. I don't know how you could make it. The only thing that would be less stressful is having a plan, but if you don't have one at all, things are going out the roof because you're really at this point stressed, and it's not going to get any better based on anything that you have already planned if you don't have anything planned. So
but you also teach, let me think now,
we teach
control instead of panic.
Yes, control instead of panic. So if your doors are locked and you hear your window breaking and you have a plan that you know that this is what I'm going to do when I hear the windows breaking, and you wake up and you go, did I really hear the window breaking, or did I just dream that? Which is, of course, one of those things that seems to happen to us all. We're like, did I really hear that noise or not? So then you sit there and wait. One of the things that we don't teach you to do is go run and look at the window, or look for why the window is breaking
and turn all the lights on.
Yeah. Well, if you're in your room and the bad guy's not in there with you at that moment, right now you're not in danger in the same way that you would be if you went out and found the bad guy in your house. So we kind of start there. That would be something I would recommend to everyone. Don't go running out to see what's going on. Stay where you are safe.
Stay in your safe zone.
Now, obviously, if you have children, that's a little bit different. You have to get to where your kids are, and that would be your priority. But if you are planning ahead, then you have a plan for that, and you recognize where you're going to need to move in your home, and you will plan for that. And if this ever happens, which we are going to say, we're going to plan that is a high, it's a low possibility, but it's still likely in that it happens all the time in everywhere in the country.
Now, if we're in a danger zone, we can plan ahead. We can use motion sensing lights on the outside.
Yes.
You know, if you've got a dark area, perhaps some woods, you can put motion sensing lights. Of course, you can adjust the sensitivity, so a squirrel or a rat or something, right? You know, you're going to trigger deer. You know, alarm systems.
They are great because they will let you know that someone's breaking in your house. They're not going to stop someone from breaking into your house, but they will give you that warning. And, you know, if they're set up to call the police, then that's one less thing that you have to worry quite so much about, is where is my phone and is it charged, you know, and can I call 911? And those, you know, obviously that's very high on your list. If you wake up and you hear a sound and it's not glass breaking and it's not people jumbling around in your house, then you might sit there for a few minutes and listen and see if you hear another sound. But it's always more prudent to err on the side of, I might have goofed up and this is a false positive, and let me go ahead and call and it not be something, rather than to put yourself in harm's way and maybe not call 911 if you think you need to, and then find out, yes, I do have bad people in my house at this moment.
You helping with this? You can't leave yet.
I will be there Saturday to lend a hand if needed. Yes, I will. Yeah. I don't know if that encourages anybody or not, but yes, I will be up there at Barron Creek.
Before you leave, put your 2 cents worth in on this. Help us out.
I'm going to throw this in, and then I've got to go to work. Yeah. You were talking about getting woke up at 2:45 and not knowing what to do, and your mind's in a jumble, and that goes back to that thing of improvisation. Trying to improvise some sort of a plan or some sort of a action when you think somebody's in your house will always take longer than implementation of a plan that you have worked on, you know, if you live with somebody, with your spouse or whoever. So it's always a great idea to have something in mind in how you would respond to that situation, instead of trying to think it up on the run. And I fall back to the idea of, you know, you look around at our county government here in Mountain Home, they've got plans in place in case we have a disaster around here. They're not going to wait until the disaster hits to try to improvise a plan. And I would recommend anybody that would that's worried about trying to defend their home or something along those lines, do the same. Have a plan in place.
Yeah, that's
yes, and it's not a big complicated thing. This isn't it's a simple list of things that you need to do when that happens, and you plan it according to what your house is like. Obviously, it's not a cookie cutter plan, because everyone's home is shaped differently. Some people have 2 stories, some people have 1, some people have a basement, some people have multiple doors into their home, some people only have 1 or 2. So your plan will obviously be personal to your home situation. But in general, there's some good things that we can teach you to do that, and they're not complicated.
Now, this is not training on how to kill somebody. This is something how to protect yourself.
Yes.
And the consequences could be wounding somebody, scaring somebody. You may not ever fire your weapon.
You may not. And that, you know, our goal in that is to get on the phone with 911 to be prepared to defend yourself if you need to. Mm-hmm. And that is the key, if you need to. So in Arkansas, we had the Castle Doctrine, and you can defend yourself in your home. You do not have to run away from your home. But you don't always, even though you're legal to do something, doesn't always mean it's the best thing to do, because needless to say, there are many consequences to all of your actions. Mm-hmm. So we try to help people to understand and to plan to defend themselves if they need to.
If somebody broke into my home and I had my weapon, I was trained, everything is according to the law, mm-hmm. and I either injured or killed somebody that was intruding, do you have to turn your weapon in during the preliminary investigations?
I would guess, I cannot tell you that for sure, but I believe they probably would take your handgun or whatever weapon you used in as evidence, and they would then, decide if they had a reason to charge you or not. And that's a little bit beyond my expertise, so I will not say any more along those lines. But yes, I would imagine it's a high likelihood that you may have your defensive weapon taken from you until they sort out things. Because you have to remember, most of the time the police show up to a shooting, it's not usually a good person shooting a bad person. They it's usually someone who is doing a bad thing. So the police are not going to come. It's better in your home than it is out in public because it is your home, but they're not used to responding to calls of, hey, good guy shot bad guy. They're used to bad person. When they find a dead body, that's a crime. So that's how they look at it. So don't expect them to be extraordinarily sweet to you, I guess would be the word. Be gracious to them, because they are entering to them a dangerous situation when they show up at your house because someone's just been shot there.
Wow. And I want to point out, for those that are anti-gun, the extensive training that you offer for people to do it right. You know, we have our Second Amendment rights, and what you're teaching is responsible use of a weapon.
Yes. It is only for defending yourself and others if you need to.
And this training said plan on being there 6 hours. Now I need to give this phone. Can I give out this phone number right here?
Please.
870-404-5251. The training is $100. Lasts around 6 hours or so. Is that right?
4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours. And what's ICE? What's that stand for?
ICE is a training company that is owned by Rob Pincus, and it develops training programs. They actually have their own instructors who teach, and then I am a certified by ICE training defensive firearms coach, which allows me to teach these two classes. The classes were developed by ICE training, and that is a nationally known company. Rob Pincus is the executive director for the Personal Defense Network, and they put videos out on self-defense training. There are many of them. You can go to their website and you can join and watch lots of good training videos. Now, videos and books, and the book that goes with this class is available at Walmart in the sporting goods section, and it's called Defend Yourself, and it was written by Rob Pincus, and it has a great breakdown of all of the things that we talk about in this class. So if you don't like to take notes, buying this book's a great way to shore it up. One thing I want to just say real quick, as a woman, since you were talking about the lady with her at home alone at night, there are lots of wonderful, well-meaning gentlemen who go to buy handguns for the women in their lives, and they end up at the gun store without the woman, and they pick a gun out for her. It would be really wonderful, and it would save them a lot of money if they would either bring the lady to the gun store with them, or if they would help her to get some training and then let her pick out her gun. A gun is a very personal thing, and you know, y'all, the guys would be a little upset if we came home with your new truck or your new tool that you hadn't particularly said you wanted, and didn't let you pick it out. So for each person, and it's really personal because it has to fit your hand. So
it does.
And people's hands are very differently shaped, and so it's just because someone has a small hand doesn't mean the gun that's small is still going to be the one that fits for them. So it will save a lot of money to go ahead and either have her get some training and then let her go to the gun store, take her to the gun store and say, here, let's look at the guns. And even though you might like another one,
it's what's best for her. The balance, the grip.
Yes. Can you and the main thing is, can you reach the controls for that gun and use them with one hand?
In the dark.
In the dark. And another problem with that is if we can stick to the more standardized defensive style guns and not things that have odd buttons and work odd ways, consistency in your training helps you to become more efficient. And if you have a gun that works the same way as all the other ones and doesn't have extra buttons, then you can become much more efficient much quicker.
Fundamentals of Home Defense Handguns, Saturday, July 25th for $100. Training at barrencreek.com. Let me do that one more time. Training at barrencreek.com. That's BARREN. You can call Elka at 404-5251. We're going to continue visiting with her right after the break. Stick around. We'll be right back. 7:53. We're getting it all figured out here, aren't we?
Yes.
Once again, training at Barren Creek scheduled for this Saturday, July 25th for $100. Fundamentals of Home Defense Handguns. Let's talk about choice of handguns and what's the legal. How do we follow the law to bring our gun to the event?
This class, since it is for in your home, would not require you to have a carry concealed license. So if you don't have a carry concealed license, then if you put your gun unloaded in your trunk, separate from the ammunition, that's called transporting, and that's quite legal. If you have a carry concealed license, then obviously you can carry your gun in the front of the car with you or on your person. In Arkansas, you have to be traveling outside of your county if you don't have a carry concealed license to carry in the front of your car. So, but putting it in the trunk unloaded, separate from the ammunition, is 100% fine.
And then, down to 1 minute. Fundamentals of Home Defense with Elka, and Mike's going to be there to help out. Is this the website? Training at barrencreek.com. Visit that. You can call Elka at 870-404-5251. And then coming up on the 29th of August, you have Fundamentals of Concealed Carry.
Yes, and this class is similar, except that it is for being out in the public and concealed carry. You will learn to draw from a holster in that class. In the home defense class, we basically work from a table because most people don't carry their guns in a holster in their home. So you shoot from the table. But in the carry concealed class, you'll be learning to draw from the holster.
So give Elka a call today at 870-404-5251. Is this state line barred? Can people come down from Missouri?
Both of these classes can be taken by anyone from anywhere.
From any state, yeah.
And you don't have to have any experience. Both of these classes, we can start you out fresh, and it's not a problem. But if you have experience, you're still going to learn a lot.
And then all laws and
we do not cover law in the class.
But I mean, are followed.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. The law is followed to the T.
Yes.
Extra safety, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
I've seen some of the stuff you do. I mean, safety is just amazing.
And I will say we just ran another 11 people through carry concealed, and just this Saturday. So good for Arkansas. More people who are responsible carrying. That's great.
Fundamentals of Home Defense, Saturday the 25th, $100. Give Elka a call at 870-404-5251. We will see you tomorrow.